Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Let's Dev. Today we continue to work on our chaotic brick breaker game. Now last time we dove into the basics of our breaker game by adding a player paddle, balls, and well, bricks. It was a pretty basic approach to a pretty basic concept, and so I turned to you guys to help me bring a little more chaos to the project. And today we'll be taking a suggestion you guys made by adding extra movement to our balls. We'll not only add a zigzag effect, but also build on that idea with other crazy ball movements. We'll also add something I came up with, portals. Sounds like a chaotic plan, so let's not waste any more chaotic time and get to the chaotic coding. With the side of diet chaotic, because we're watching our chaotic figure. What? I don't know. Let's get to the coding. First up was the ball movement, and before I got into coding different directions, I wanted to see if I could pull it off with GameMaker's built-in path creator, because if that did work, we'd be able to do even crazier and more complicated shapes. Unfortunately, as far as I can tell, paths don't work with the way that we handle our balls, so I need to turn to actual code to get this done. And so I added a few variables to the ball: effect, effect state, and effect time. Effect would cover the ball behavior, and the other two variables would keep track of the state of the ball. In this case, when the timer hit its mark, the state would switch, and depending on the state, it would add relative motion to the ball. This would result in a relative zigzag effect added to the ball. It's a little hard to tell due to the whole brick breaking madness, but there was in fact a little zigzag effect going on there. So with the zigzag effect added, I wanted to get a little crazier with the idea. So I added a new effect that would work like a spiral. Instead of adding motion to the ball, I would simply rotate the direction, causing a crazy circular effect. But I noticed that while testing this, due to the circular nature, it was possible for the ball to get stuck in the middle of nowhere. So I added another variable that would allow me to randomize the rotation speed. This would make sure that eventually the ball would reach something to ricochet off of. And so now that we had some crazy balls to play with, it was time to move on to our special hole. The portals, that is. Portals are the special holes. So I started with some sprites that look exactly like portals from Portal. And just a minor side note here, man, GameMaker's image editor really needs work. It's weird, it's kind of buggy, and not very user-friendly. But anyway, we had our portal sprites, and now it was time to make them a reality. I was sure I could do everything I needed in just one object, so I first set up a type to dictate the portal's color and the literal type of portal it was. If it was an orange portal, it would then choose from one of 4 locations to spawn the corresponding blue portal. And for now, I tied these to 4 different corners of the room. And after a ton of tweaking to get them to actually show up properly, I was finally ready to add ball collision code to these things. In the collision code for ball to portal, I had the ball check for what type of portal it was. An orange portal would send the ball to its blue counterpart, and vice versa. I also had the ball's movement reversed in case that mattered. Sadly, it didn't. And sadly, let me tell you, I spent majority of this session tweaking these numbers only to get nowhere. I'm almost convinced at this point it's a math thing, and obviously something I've overlooked. The best I could get was the ball to teleport and continue in its original trajectory. Reversing that obviously created a scenario where balls kept teleporting through the same portal over and over again. And that's my long-winded way of saying I ended up running out of time and had to call it a day for now. Which sadly brings us to the end of today's episode of Let's Dev. So remember that if you liked this video or enjoyed Let's Dev in general, be sure to hit that like button. If you aren't already subscribed, be sure to hit that subscribe button, and be sure to turn on notifications so you never miss a new episode. And as always, be sure to leave your thoughts on our progress and your own ideas for future features in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.